Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another show, Basic Coding with Arduino. So before I go through the chat, I'd just like to say it's just me tonight. Unfortunately, Mark and Julie's youngest got COVID, and obviously since they had the positive test for that, they've all caught it. I believe that Julie hasn't yet, but the rest of the family has. So Mark's feeling a bit under the weather. So let's all wish them a very speedy recovery. And it just goes to show, just please be careful out there, because I know they're triple jabbed, and you can still get the virus. So you can still catch COVID. So just be extra careful when you're out and about. And I know you don't have to wear masks and stuff anymore, but it just shows that it's a good idea to still do that, because it seems to be going around. I know, I'm sure they won't mind me saying, but Chris and Dave's daughter, Sherry, she's got it as well, and it seems to be spreading. So just be careful out there, and try and minimize contact. So tonight is going to be, it's just me on my own. Now, I was going to do this anyway. What I thought I'd do today was actually go a bit more into detail with Tinkercad, because I realised last week, I said, oh yeah, if you want to join along, come on, and go on to Tinkercad, and you can follow along. But it might not necessarily be that basic if you've never used it before. So it's just going to be a quick rundown of how Tinkercad works, how to use it, and all I'm going to do is redo the code I did last week. So the traffic light system. So I'm going to build it on Tinkercad so you can see how it all works on there. Then inputting the code and then testing it on the web interface. Now, a new thing, Mark doesn't actually know this yet. I've actually adjusted the description below. So if you look in the description below, I've actually shared a folder. Can't remember what I've exactly called it, but there's a link in the description. So if you want any of the codes that we've written on this series, and you want to have a go yourself, and you don't want to type the code out, I've put the code in the description below, in a file. So I've shared a folder, and in there I will put all the codes. So I've put one in there. I've done it in a .txt file, because I appreciate not everyone may not have Microsoft Office or Word or anything like that. So I've done it in a Notepad file. So you should be able to access that, because Windows, and I'm not sure about Macs, but I know Windows can open them files with no problem. So if you ever want any of the codes to play around with, you can copy from that. So the link is in the description. Enough of that. Let me go through the chat and then we'll get started. So we've got D. Harris first, saying a very good evening, Alex, Mark, and young Jack. Yeah, so just me, but hi D, hope you're well. We have Jay's channel. Good evening, Horlixs. Hope Mark and Jack are better soon. Good luck with the show. Yeah, me too. Let's all wish them a speedy recovery. Dano's Universe. Hello, everyone. Hi, Dano. How are you? Thank you for joining. We've got Geordie Dave. Hello, everyone. Hi, Geordie. Hope you're well. Hope you didn't work too hard today. I know I didn't, or tried not to. We got the at Jay's channel, at Dano's Universe, and Geordie Dave. Good evening, all. So that's great. We got Yorkshire Crafter. Hello, everyone. Hi, Julie. And you'll have your work cut out for you. I bet you're looking after everyone. So yeah, as lovely as you are. So yeah, just go easy. Jay's channel. Hi, D. Harris. We've got D. Harris saying evening, Julie. Yorkshire Crafter. Evening, D. Harris. Mark's Modz. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Mark. I hope you're not feeling too rough yet. D. Harris, evening, Mark. We have Mark saying evening at D. Harris. Crafty Chris, good luck, Horlixs. Thank you very much, Christine, and I hope you're well. We've got Julie Dave. Hi at D Harris. We've got Ian. Evening. Hi, Ian. How are you? We've got Julie Dave. Get well soon, Mark and family. Yeah, definitely. We've got Neil Ratcliffe. Hi, Alex. Good luck with the show. Thank you, Neil. I'm just stepping in, as I say, as Mark's feeling a bit poorly and Jack and everyone. Yeah, they just need to get as much rest as possible. We have Neil. Hi, guys and girls. We have DS Models and Vintage. Hi, everyone. Best wishes for the speedy recovery, Mark and family. Yeah, definitely. We have new type of something. I'm sure someone's on that. Jacklttv TV. Hi, Horlixs. Thanks for doing the show tonight. No worries at all. It can't be helped. And yeah, just hope you all get well soon. I can manage this. So hopefully, yeah, the plan is, as I said, we're going to go through Tinkercad. I'm basically going to redo what we did last week, but the circuits on Tinkercad so you can see how it works. And then there should be time at the end. What I thought we might do for a bit of fun is we'll go in and edit the code for the traffic lights and maybe just add something else like a flashing amber light or something, just, so you get used to how it works. And then say, if you want to have a go with Tinkercad after tonight, you can do. And as I say, the link is in the description below to the folder location, so you can then download the code and then you can inject that into Tinkercad and have a play yourself. You can go wild, do whatever you want to do. We have D Harris, get well soon, Mark and family, and speedy recovery. And we have Mark, thanks again at D Harris. We have Gillian in the house. Hi, everyone. Hi, Gillian. Hope you're well. Right, okay, let me share my screen and we will start tinkering. So, I need to get used to this because I'm getting all confused. There we go. So, this is Tinkercad. Oh, God, come on. There we go. So this is just tinkercad.com and you can sign in. Now, what I'm going to do just for this is remove the brand, the logo, just so you can see. So go to tinkercad.com. Let me go back. You'll end up on 3D designs. So you want to go down to circuits. Okay, and then create a new circuit. I've already had a load in it. This auto saves as well. So this is what you're going to be faced with when you start up with the circuits on Tinkercad. So we are going to, replicate what we did last week for the traffic lights. So the first thing we're going to need is obviously the Arduino. And it's got a really handy search function, so you can search anything you want. So it's actually an Arduino Uno R3. So I'm just going to type in Uno. And then it'll come up there. So you can just click on that once, and then you can drag it over onto your work plane. And then if you use your mouse scroll, it will make that bigger and smaller. Okay, so you can do that. When you click on a component, it will bring up like an option. So we can name this Arduino. If you've got multiple, you can call it Arduino 1, 2, 3, whatever you want. Click off of it, and that is that in place. If you want to move it, you can just click on it once. Click and hold, and you can drag it about. And then, or you can click on it once and move your mouse scroll in and out. So that is the basic function for that. So we've got our Arduino, which is what you've seen me and Mark and Jack with last week. We've got physical ones. So We're then going to want a breadboard. So we can just type in breadboard. You've got different options. So you've got your small one, you've got a mini one. Or you've got like a full size one, but we're just going to go with the small one. I think that will be absolutely fine for our purposes. Again, you can zoom in and out, and that will just zoom everything in and out. So when we're working on something, we can zoom into it. If you click off of these components, you can move everything about. So it's as easy as that. So we were doing the traffic lights. So we want 3 LEDs. So they're actually at the top of the list. So all you do, is you click, and then you can drag it over to your breadboard. We're going to zoom in so we can see what we're doing. So I'm going to put my LED there. And then once you've placed it, it will bring you up the options for the LED. Now here, we can name it. So we were naming them red, yellow. This doesn't matter to the code. This is just because obviously it all depends on how you wire it. It knows from the code what pin number we're connecting this LED to. So this name has no influence on the code. You can name this whatever you want. Okay, so I'm just going to name it red because it's a red LED, or I could even name it red LED. And then you've got color, red. That's what we want. So that's that in place. Okay, so we want another 2 LEDs because we want amber and green. So I'm going to click on the red LED, bring it over, place it. And then we're going to have yellow LED. And you can then click the drop down and change the color. So we're going to want yellow, and it will change the color for us down on the breadboard. So that is how that works. So we want a third for green and change that to green. There we go. Easy as that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So we've got our 3 LEDs, our traffic lights. So we now want to place our resistors. So as I was explaining last week about how the breadboard works, this helps you out. So you see, if I just hover over this line, you've got these green, the green bar comes up. That shows you all the pins that are connected. So that's how I was explaining last week. And then each of these individual ones, they're all connected, this line. These are separate. So there's no connection at present from this here up to here. But we're going to make one by placing our, hopefully it'll let me. It depends how big they are on here. But when you do it physically, you can obviously adjust the legs of the resistors. So I'll see how this goes. So we want some resistors. So we can start typing in resistor. And then we've got one here. Ah, yes, it will let me do it. So we're going to place our resistors. Now, because they're LEDs, as you'll be aware, you're going to need a resistor to stop the LED burning out. Okay. And it goes on. I'm going to put one here, which is on the anode side. And then we can name it. So I'm going to do red resistor. And here is really important. This is where you tell it what resistance. Obviously, there's many resistances for resistor. So you've got an option here for your different, your kilo ohms, your mega ohms, and all that. Yeah, but we want ohms, and I like to use 220. So you just type in 220 ohm. So depending on what you're doing. I mean, LEDs, I normally use 220. Okay, so that's that. So that's now set at a 220 resistance, red resistor. So what you can then do is you can actually reselect another resistor and bring it over, and then we're going to name it yellow resistor. Again, I'm going to do 220 and then change that to ohms. Or you can select that, Control C, or Control and C on your keyboard, and then Control and V, and it will paste another one, exactly the same value, and then all that's left to do is name it. So you can do that. It's worth mentioning as well, that's done. If you want to move and change the orientation of these, you can just push R on your keyboard for rotate. So each time you push R, it will move this round. So depending on your project, you can move them round. I think that's the same with the LED. You can move them around however you want. So we've got that set up. So that is the basics. All we're going to need to do now is run the cables. So I'm actually going to move this over a bit more. So what we want to do is attach wires now. So I'm just going to move this in because we've done with the components at the moment, but they're all down here. You've got all sorts. You've got batteries, and you know, you've even got some actually pre-made stuff that you can use. Not sure yet if it's got code with it. I'll have to check that out. But what we're going to need to do now is run the cables to this. So all we do is really easy. We don't need to do anything. When you like hover over the pins on the board, you'll see it comes up with a little red square. So I want to get 5 volts to this plus rail here. So I'm going to just click once on that 5-volt rail. That's going to give us a cable. So all we're going to do here is just bring it down and route the cable how you want. So you bring it down as far as you want. You click again, and then that will put a break there. There you go. You can, and then you just draw it. So I want it to go about here. Click again, and then bring it up. And then once you've clicked on the receiving hole, so it will go red, that will place that cable. So that is now 5 volts connected to positive rail. And then from here, if we go up to the top here, we can change the color. So red. There you go. Done. We're now going to want, obviously, a ground to the negative rail. So in the same way, we're just going to draw our cable. Like so. And then I'm going to change that up here to black. Now, if you're like me and you don't get it quite right, or it's not straight, you can just like click on the wire once, and then click on the dot where you want to move it, and then you can then move it, and you get these like blue crosses. You get the blue cross, which tells you that it's level. I'm just going to jump over to the chat. We've got another bit of chat come in. So we have David Bassett. Good evening, Horlixs and Mark. Unfortunately, it is just me tonight. It's just Horlixs. Unfortunately, Mark and Julie's youngest got COVID, and they've all got it now. I believe right now, as we speak, Julie is still negative, but they've all been knocked out with COVID. So Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us. Download Universe says doesn't matter right. Yeah, doesn't matter what way the resistor's facing. No, it doesn't. I can click on that and I can turn that any way I want. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter which way. Some components do, like diodes, they're directional, and other components, but resistors are absolutely fine whatever way you want to put them. So I'll leave it like that. That's fine. So, well, where were we? Yeah, so we've done that. I'm just going to have a quick sip of coffee. And we got some more chat. Dave Matt Bill says, good evening, Horlixs and everyone. Hi, Dave Matt. It's just me tonight. Unfortunately, Mark and family have been knocked with COVID. So it is just me this week. So yeah, we're just going through Tinkercad. And if you've not done it before, haven't got the kit, I realised last week I said about doing it on Tinkercad, and it might not necessarily be as easy as, to just pick it up. So I thought I'd just do a quick tutorial on how to use it in case you wanted to have a go at some point. So we've got our 5-volt and grounds, so they're all set up. Now, really, we don't actually need this 5-volt because the voltage is coming from the pins from the code. So if you want to delete something, you just simply highlight something and push delete, and then you're done. So for the purpose of this sketch, we're only going to need negative because the positives are going to be connected to the pins we set in the code. So if I remember rightly, we did pin 10 to the red LED, 9 to yellow, and 8 to green. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. So I'm going to click on pin 8, and then we're going to connect this to our green LED. So it can be anywhere. You can connect it from here, here. It really doesn't matter because remember, this is all connected. So I'm going to make this wire green because it's a green LED. Okay, so next we want 9, which is going to go to the yellow LED. So we're going to bring this over and bring this down to the yellow LED, and then I'm going to make that yellow. And then finally, we've got 10. We're going to draw that over to there. And I'm going to make that orange because, oh no, I can make it red because we haven't got 5 volts. So yeah, but you can color these however you want to color them. So this is done apart from the ground. We need to attach the ground from all of the cathodes on the LED. So to do that, we can go anywhere along here because this is all connected. So I'm going to bring this up to from the ground up to this plane here. And then what we can do is we can draw across. So I'm going to use this one to go up to oh, hang on. God, why isn't that not right? Let me just move this out of the way for a moment. You might have to move components briefly just to fit the wires in. Okay. So I'm just going to move these down for the moment, and then we'll put them back afterwards. But it's just click and drag. So we want from there to there, there to there. Okay, and then we want there to there. Okay, so that's, oh, delete that. So yes, we are crossing this track, but it's obviously not connected because we're going from this, we're jumping from this row over to this row, and in turn it's going to go up to this one to bring it over here and here to here. So when we plug our, when we position our LEDs, they're all going to get a ground supply from here. Okay, so that is our circuit done on Tinkercad. So now, once you're happy with what you've designed, we can then go up to code. In here, you do have all this. I think it's like a quick thing. I've not really looked at this yet, so I don't really know. Obviously, I do my own, but you've got blocks and text, so you can have a little bit of both and then write your code in. This is what you'll be familiar with from last week. But I'm just going to do text. Okay. And then this is where we write all our code in. So I'm going to delete that. So what I'm actually going to do is bring in the code. This is the code that we wrote last week, the one I wrote. All we can do is just copy all that. So with the file, which the link is in the description to the folder, you'll see this on a notepad. You can just copy all this. And then simply paste it into here. That's how easy it is. And you can obviously edit it all in here however you want to do it. So once we've got the code in, I've got no reason to believe this won't work because this is what we finished up with last week. We can then push on code again, and that just gets rid of it. It's just a toggle. And then, yeah, that's it, done. So to test your code, we can just click Start Simulation. And if the code works, you'll see the simulation on the screen. So it's red at the moment. There you go. Amber, green. So that is how easy it is. And while it's running, well, you can delete it. Oh, it just stopped. Yeah, it used to be able to lock it when it was running the simulator. I think they must have changed that. So, yeah, you can start simulation again and it'll work. But then if you delete something, it will just automatically stop the simulation. So that's basically you injecting the code to the Uno. So let me go through some chat while that is playing. So we've got D. Harris saying evening, Dave Mac. And we have Dave Mac builds evening D. And Crafty Chris, can you blow it up now? Yeah, I think I can actually. Right. Let's see if we can blow it up for Christine. So stop simulation. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. So we could, how can we do this? Let me delete this. Let me get 5 volt over to here. I don't know if this will work. It should do. Let's do that red. And then let's get 3.3 volt as well. So that should make that 8.3 volts at that rail. And then what we can do is get an LED. Let's blow up the green one. And then we'll get negative up to there. We'll make that black. And then we'll get a positive from there to there. We'll make that red. So that is going to be, I think it works like that. That should be 8.3 volts straight to the positive rail, which is then being fed up to the LED. And then we've got our ground. So it doesn't matter about the code for this, because as soon as we turn this on, it will then inject the voltage into the board. So let's start simulation. Yeah, there you go. It wasn't a massive explosion, but you get like this big red explosion icon, and it says the current through the LED is 483 milliamps, while absolute maximum is 20 milliamps. So yeah, we've just put 483 milliamps through that LED, and it should only be 20. So, you know, it's handy like that. You can, you know, if you're doing wrong. And if you did this, I mean, these Arduinos are quite robust physically, but if you did do that on your breadboard physically in front of you, you would ruin an LED. It would stink probably. I've done that a few times, blown an LED because I've forgotten a resistor or something. Yeah, they don't smell too great. So that is how to use Tinkercad. If you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments and I'll answer them shortly. So let me put this back to how it was. And then our simulation should, oh, I need to connect this line. Ah, there you go. When you start simulation, you can't add any wiring. You can't add anything to this, but you can delete something. So that's what I must have been thinking of. So you stop, make sure this is on stop, or, you know, it says start before you edit anything, because it won't work. Let's go black. Now that should work now. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is stop that. That is a rough how you work on Tinkercad. So if I bring back the code that we used last week, you can remember, if I change my view so you can see, here we go. I've actually tidied it up since we played with this last week, because it was a bit messy. If you remember, I had all the LEDs up here hidden. So I've adjusted this and tidied the wires. You know me. I like neat wires. So there is our traffic light system that we did, which is basically what we've done. If I plug this in, let's just remind ourselves of the code. We've just done that on Tinkercad. So this is, there we go. So that still works. So let me just let this run through its cycle. So we've got red, then it goes down to amber. So someone else suggested this. What if we want this amber to flash? Because some traffic lights, red and then the amber flashes, doesn't it? Or is it before? Oh, I can't think now. Help me out in the chat. What is it? Is it green? Then it flashes amber before red? Or is it red and then with flashing amber, then it goes to green? I can't remember now. I can't actually remember. So traffic lights are really hard if you don't. I know what they do, obviously, you know, but it's just like remembering the sequence. I think it's red and then it flashes amber and then it goes green. So let's go with that. So what we can do is we can change that on the code. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mark. Right, so all we need to do is, well, I'm wondering if any of you are going to know how to do this, but we'll see. So what do you think we should change? See, look, we've got split. We're split. So let's do some chats. We've got D Harris saying it's good doing on this first before the actual project, see the final result without actual wiring. And yeah, do you know what it is? And I do that a lot if I'm doing something, because you know there's nothing worse than wiring it all up and you know it not working. So sometimes it is just a lot easier to do it on there, as you say, and then test it before fitting it. Mark says red flashing amber, then green. But then Johnny Dave says green flashing amber and then red. So it's split. See, it's difficult, isn't it? I'm just going to go with red flashing amber, I think, and green, just for the purposes of this. So what would we change on this code to allow that to do that? Can anyone remember or know what I should do to make this flash amber after or whilst the red LED is lit? So we've got it all here. I've written the notes. So this is green LED off, and then yellow will be on for 3 seconds. Then we've got turn off yellow, then turn on red for 5 seconds. Then we've got red and yellow on for 2 seconds. Red is already on, yeah, because we turned red on this previous bit here. And then we've got yellow. We've turned, so we're going to turn yellow on for 2 seconds whilst red is already on. And then we're going to turn off red and yellow and then turn on the green LED. So what do you think we need to insert in this bit of code? Jordy Dave says, remember, I am a pedestrian. Yes, I know. Yeah, what with the new law and everything, you have to give way. And cyclists. So, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got nothing against cyclists. You know, I cycle as well, but I think allowing them to take control of the road is a bit much. I think, you know, especially cyclists being able to cycle down the middle of the road. Now, I know obviously they don't produce emissions, well, apart from their bottom maybe, but I think that they should pay road tax. if they're gonna bring that in, they should pay road tax or stop the road tax for us. But obviously that won't happen because of the repairs. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. So Jolly Day says turn yellow and green on for 3 seconds. Okay. That won't work, but we can do that if you wanted. We got Modz saying red stops traffic for people to cross, then flashing amber means traffic can proceed if the crossing is clear and safe. Then green means crossing is safe, traffic can proceed. Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then we have Ian. They need vehicle MOT, tax insurance, and cycle quicker. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against cyclists. You know, it doesn't bother me, but just the fact that they're allowed to cycle down the middle of the road. And the thing is that I've heard of stories now where people cyclists are actually doing it on purpose because they can, and that is not cool. It's just going to cause an accident. You know, there's a law about holding the road up, isn't there? You know, let's see me for. Yeah, there's a law, isn't there, about holding the traffic up. Like you have to drive at the speed limits. You know, there's no point dawdling along at 10 miles an hour when it's a 30. That is just as much breaking the law as speeding, I believe, because you're causing an obstruction. And are they going to change the law for that? It's a big thing, isn't it? It's a really big thing. So let's go back to this. So yes, that's right. D. Harris says, good evening, Ian Campbell. Yeah, as Mark says, he used to be a driving instructor, so he knows. And D. Harris beat me to it at Mark's Modz. Yeah. What is that? We've got this new, I guess that there is admin there. It keeps coming up with these weird, it's a new thing. I hope you can see them. So yeah, so Jordan Davis has turned red on, yellow on, flashing for 3 seconds. Yeah. So red is already on from this bit here because we've turned on the red for 5 seconds. So that's gonna stay red. Then there's gonna be a delay before this part of the sketch. So in order to make this yellow flash, we're going to have to put some more code in here to tell it to do that. So red is already on, so yellow comes on. So what we're going to do is I can't spell today. Digital right. Then we want yellow, low. So what that's going to do is do yellow high and then yellow low. Now I've done that wrong myself. Before that, we want to add a delay. So let's delay that by half a second. 500. Let's see how that. Let's do a second. So 1,000. So we're going to so we're going to turn yellow on, delay by 1,000, which is 1 second. Then we're going to turn yellow off and then delay that by a second. That's going to flash once, it's going to come on, and then it's going to go off. And that's what it's going to do. We want it to do this a few times. So what you can do is just copy this code, because that'd be easier than typing. And remove that. Just put that in by mistake. So we're going to this is going to come on, off, on, off. Let's do this 6 times. So there is a way of doing this. Now, that is a bit more advanced than me at the moment. You can actually tell it. You can make like a sub loop, I think. So you could call it like void flash or something like that. You can then just have this bit of code here, and then it'll have a sub like void flash amber, and then when you write this code, and then you can you can write this, and then you could do delay, I don't know, 10 seconds or whatever, and then it will actually replay this for 10 seconds before carrying on with the rest of the code. Or you can just write it out manually. This takes longer, but there is an easier way and simpler way of writing this code that I'm not sure about yet. So we're going to write that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that is going to flash 6 times, hopefully. So that's all we have to do. So just turn it on, off, on, off, on, off with a delay before it carries on with the rest of the sketch, which is to turn yellow off. Now, yellow is actually already off here, so we can remove that. Because we want it to stay high. Then it will turn off red and yellow at the same time. So let's upload this and see what happens. So I'm just going to grab my boards. Plug this in, and let's see what results we get. So it's going to carry on playing the code that we've already put on there. So we're going to click on this upload. That's written successfully. Now let's see the results. What's it going to do? So we got red. There you go. There's our flashing amber. Sorry, it's a bit bright for the camera. Now, to me, that seems a little bit slow, that flash. So let's edit the code. Let's delay that for, my first instinct was 500. So let's copy that. Change all them to 500. And let's see what that looks like. So let me write that and then come back to the board. So we've gone red. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think that's about the right sort of speed. And there we go. That is how you do that. So we've got some more chat. So D House, we got it in the night in chat, Mark. D House, yeah, I know. I've reported them to YouTube. D Harris, so have I. I'm guessing this is this spam that's coming through. Ian says, I think if you double click the 1000, it'll highlight and then you can just do Control V. Yeah, it does. So if that was 1000, double click that. Copy. Yeah, a bit easier, isn't it, than dragging it across. Right, so that is basically what I've got for you today. You know, I don't want to go too mad. I just thought it'd be nice to show you how Tinkercad works today, and then just maybe edit this code a little bit. So Ian says, in a later stage, you can show us how to control the speed with a variable, Alex. Yes, I could do. Possibly. As I say, I'm not an expert at this. I just know basics, really basics, and it probably is a basic thing. But do you know what? I did this for a little while, a couple of years ago, and I got really into it and new stuff, and then it's been a long time. I'm a bit rusty with it, so it is stuff I'm going to have to brush up with. But yeah, it's certainly something I can do and remind myself about all this stuff. And then as we get more advanced, I haven't really done much at the moment because obviously we're starting off, starting off basic. So this is what I have done. Johnny Dave says, now you need a button and a red and green man. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, you can do that. I've got some tactile switches somewhere. Yeah, they're in here. So, you know, as I said, we can do that. That's going to take some looking up and practice, but we can add put that in there. We can add a button, a push button, and then yeah, we can tell this that when this is pushed, it will change this back to red, and then we could have like red and green, like as Geordie said, red and green man. So we can have another red LED and a green one. When we push the button, it will change the light to red, and then activate the red man to green man. That, you know, that can be done with the right code. Anything can be done. So Ian says, got to go. See you all soon. Take it easy, especially you, Mark. Yeah, definitely. And thank you for joining Ian tonight. That's great. And yeah, I hope Mark and family get well soon. And Dano says, great show. Well done. Thank you very much, Dano. So yeah, that's it really. That's we're coming up to the hour. I think I've done what I need to do. So yeah, remember the link is in the description. So when you click on it, it should take you to a text file which will have the code in for the normal traffic lights, and which is this one. Without this, we've just amended this. So yeah, we've just amended this. So it won't be this version, but you can play with that yourself. You know, all you have to do is copy lines, just play with it. You know, as long as the circuit's right on the actual Arduino, once you've got this bit wired in right, you can play around with this code as long as you like. You know, change times. You know, you could change this down. You know, make it 100, make it flash really fast. Yeah, and then just make your own notes on it. You know, so if you do something and you think, oh, I want to do something else, or change the text so you know what it's doing, and then you can keep a you can't even see that, sorry. Yeah, change this text so you can see what you're doing. So we've just changed this, so we could change this to red on and yellow flash for, and it's not going to be 2 seconds. So we've done it 6 times, haven't we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 seconds, about 6 seconds. Actually, 5.5 seconds. Red on and yellow flash for 5.5 seconds. Obviously, red is already on. So yeah, just make notes as you go, as you're editing your code. That's a good tip. And then if you ever come back to it, you know what you're doing. You know what this bit of code is telling you or is going to do, and then I think that's a good way of learning. So that is that. I think we are about done. I hope you did enjoy that. Just a little snippet of using Tinkercad. So I know Dano had a go last week. I'm not sure if he's done the code yet. Have you done the code yet, Dano? Probably not. So yeah, let me go through some more chat and then we'll wind down the show. So we have, I think I've done this one. Yeah, great show. Well done. Thank you, Dano. We've got Crafty Chris. Great show, Alex. Thank you, Christine. Johnny Dave. Night, Ian. Dave McBills. Great show tonight. Thank you very much. Mark Smiles. Well done, Alex, for tonight. You're a great host. Thank you. Mark Modz. It's not going to work. The red and yellow don't start with a capital. What have I done? It did. Yeah. No, it does. Yeah, this is the code. I think red and yellow don't start with a capital. Yeah, no, they're. Oh, do you mean the yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry. This, are you talking about this line here? This is just notes. So this doesn't do anything in the code. As long as the actual code has capitals, you're all right. This is just for your reference again, but I can change that if you want to do that. But that doesn't matter. So I was wondering what you meant there. So we got D Harris saying, good show, Alex. Interesting. I'm thinking now to make nav lights, strobes for the Lynx helicopter. I have to do. Yeah, have a play. Honestly, have a play. You know, and it's not just this. So Google is a good place to start as well. You know, when it gets more in depth, like LCD screens, like you saw the intro, you have to start including libraries and installing libraries and stuff like that. So I'm sure we'll cover that at some point in the future. Possibly sooner rather than later, actually, because I think some of Mark's next lessons might be to do with libraries. So we can look at them then. Johnny Day says, great show, Alex. Thank you very much. Jacklttv, good show, Horlixs. Thank you very much. And D Harris says, night all on the other side. And Mark's Mods, yes. So that is it. So what we on Wednesday? So tomorrow, join. Well, hopefully, I'm not gonna. It depends, I guess, how Julie's feeling or things. So we'll see how it goes. But there should be a diamonds painting and the crafting quiz show tomorrow at 7 o'clock on Yorkshire Crafters Channel and Crafty Chris. and that will be, tomorrow 7 o'clock. Friday we're back with me. I have a show lined up for Friday, so that's exciting. So yeah, you don't want to miss that. 7 o'clock Friday, you do not want to miss that. And then that takes us round to Sunday, which will be the Northern Model Builders and Crafters show. That will be on at 8 o'clock on Sunday. Links are in the description below for Jack's Twitch, Mark's YouTube, my own YouTube, and we've also got Mark and myself's Patreon down there. So check out the links below, and as I said before, there is a link to the code that I've put in a text file for you to download if you would like to, and copy it and have a play. So that is everything, and I'm just going to say goodnight. Just catch up this last little bit of chat. Thank you everyone for the well wishes. Great show, Horlixs. Thank you very much, Julie. And yeah, cross fingers you all have a really speedy recovery. And we have Silver Woo with an applause. Thank you very much. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope I haven't missed anything. Yes, I have missed something. I do really apologize. We have DS Models and Vintage. He will be doing a show on Saturday night. I knew I was forgetting something. I do apologize. I didn't mean to miss you out. So Saturday night, Dave, DS Models and Vintage, check him out on his channel. I believe I'm not sure 100% of the time. Is it 7? Might be 7 o'clock. But there will be a notification. So if you're not subscribed to Dave, DS Models and Vintage, please go over and subscribe to him. So it's DS Models and Vintage. Hit that notification bell, then you will be notified when he goes live. And you'll get a bit of warning 30 minutes beforehand, so you won't miss him. So that is on Saturday night. Oh, it's 8 p.m. Okay, so last of the chat, then I'm going to say goodbye. So D Harris, night at Mark's Modz and Yorkshire Crafter, and Mark's Modz, night at D Harris. Yorkshire Crafter, night at D Harris, and Crafty Chris, 8 p.m. Yeah, sorry, 8 p.m. Yeah. So thank you all for watching. Bid you a good night. Please stay safe. Again, be careful. You know, as we've seen tonight, Mark and family have been triple jabbed and they've still come down with it. So just be super careful and responsible, whatever you're doing, and stay safe. But until the next time, please take care and see you on the next show. Goodbye.